Welcome to NYNJPA Weather, your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino, and this is the Weekend Discussion. Well, I have great news for the weekend. High pressure will be in control throughout the entire weekend and into early next week. High pressure is currently centered over the western portions of the Hudson Bay, will continue to slowly drift south towards the northern plains. As the high pressure does so, it will also force a storm track further to the south. As a result, the low pressure system that is currently developing over Oklahoma will remain to the south and cut through Virginia, producing rain, maybe a little bit of snow for the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore northwestern metro areas. But really, other than that, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Chilly, but dry. So if you have any plans for this weekend, layer up a little bit, get a coat, and enjoy the weather outside because it really won't be that bad. Sure, temperatures will be in the 40s, but at least it'll be dry and sunny. This is the water vapor satellite picture as of 3 p.m. And what I'm trying to show here is that our polar vortex, which is currently situated over Quebec and parts of the Canadian Maritimes, will basically suppress the storm track to the south because it's producing a northwesterly flow. What that basically means is that the steering currents are coming from the northwest to southeast. As a result, any disturbance that is approaching from the plains or the Mississippi River Valley cannot move north, it has to move due east. So any type of moisture, for example, that tries to move into this type of confluent flow will pretty much just dry out and remain to the south of the northern Atlantic. So that's why it's going to remain dry this weekend, and it's going to be actually pretty nice into early next week. This is the European model guidance from Penn State EWAL, and this is Tuesday afternoon. Now, high pressure is going to continue to slowly slide towards the eastern Great Lakes, and as a result, high pressure will be in control through at least Wednesday. This high pressure system is going to slow down the area of low pressure that is developing over the southern plains. Now, there is some disagreement on the timing of the low pressure system and the exact track. The model guidance is a little bit better this afternoon, but there's still some disagreements. My forecast right now is for this storm to move through on Thursday with periods of heavy rain and possibly some severe weather for the Philadelphia metropolitan area. And yes, there is a threat for some wet snow over the higher terrain, especially above 500 feet in locations like the Poconos and the Hudson Valley up through the Mohawk River Valley in central New York. Right now, I do not expect this storm to produce a lot of heavy snow in the northern Atlantic, but I think it's going to be more towards the eastern Great Lakes and around Erie, Pennsylvania, and Syracuse, New York, and locations like that. Meanwhile, the northern Atlantic, I think there's going to be a pretty good heavy rain event out of this and a threat for severe weather. The key with this storm is how fast does the polar vortex that will be sitting over the Canadian Maritimes, how fast will that lift north into Greenland? The sooner that happens, the further west this storm will track. If the polar vortex sits over the Canadian Maritimes, this low pressure system will likely track more towards the coast like what the European model guidance is showing this afternoon. However, if the upper level low pulls further north into Greenland, then this low pressure system that's over Oklahoma will end up pretty much around central Pennsylvania by Thursday afternoon, which will set up a potential for not only severe weather but also very heavy rainfall. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this storm. There's a lot of uncertainty exactly where this storm is going to track, but I can say for certain that the coast will not see any type of frozen precipitation out of this storm. I can guarantee that. So that's pretty much the forecast for this upcoming week. Overall, it's not going to be too bad. High pressure is going to be in control at least through Wednesday morning, and then we're going to have to see the track of this storm and see exactly where it ends up. If it ends up further west, it's not only going to be very rainy and also the potential for severe weather, but it's also going to get very warm. If it tracks along the coast, it's going to remain raw, temperatures in the 40s, heavy rain, and possibly a little bit of wet snow over the higher interior. So that's our weekend forecast. It really is going to be pretty quiet. Sure, temperatures are going to be in the 40s for highs, but otherwise clear skies and dry conditions. So it's not going to be that bad of a weekend, really. Thank you for trusting in NYNJPA Weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have a great weekend.